Soul Simmers, it's ThatSimminWitch here, and we are back with another Makeover Monday, and this week it's the turn of the Greenburgs from Evergreen Harbour. Now the Greenburgs are absolutely one of my favourite families. I really love Knox. I just think he is super sweet, and I just love like the whole family like dynamic, sort of like the two mums, or the two older mums especially, and like Knox just being like this cool kid, and the moms are cool, and just like I think it's a really sweet family. So first things first, I did correct the relationship so that Knox and Mary are now mother and son. Before, when you first load into them, they aren't mother and son at all. So I really wanted to correct that, because it says specifically in the household description that they both adopted him. So I wanted that to be reflected in the actual relationships. So I guess we're going to start talking about Knox first. He's the first one that came up when I loaded in, and also he is my favourite, so we're going to start talking about his outfits. So when I think about Knox, the thing that I think about him is that he obviously is the eco master, so he's all about going green and the environment and like stuff like that, recycling, all that kind of stuff. One thing that like I feel about Knox is that he can't let anything go. So like his like clothes that he's got, a lot of them will look really worn, or they'll have holes or patches. Like I think that's a really important part of Knox's character, that he'll keep something and keep using it until it physically cannot be used any longer. And the only new kind of clothing, or the clothing that looks the nicest, is the clothing that, in my mind, Blossom, who is an artist and also an avid knitter, would have knit him. So like he's got quite a few jumpers and stuff that look very new, and I like the idea that Blossom has knitted them for him, and that he wears them and he loves them because she made them. And yeah, that's what I'm going for his like fashion vibe. I did want to say also that he isn't very fashionable, so some of his clothes, they seem like a little bit mismatched, or they're a little bit like old-fashioned maybe. And I think that's because like in my mind I was thinking of the whole like he doesn't let anything go, and I like the idea that maybe he like buys stuff from thrift shops and things like that. So that's what I had in the back of my mind when I was doing Knox's outfits. So his very first everyday outfit, that jumper that he's wearing is a country living jumper, but I like the idea that that was one of the things that Blossom knitted him, so he wears that on the cooler days, when he needs a little bit of warming up, and like a little bit of resilience against the cool weather. And like when it came to his hair, I knew I wanted to change it, but I hadn't quite decided what I wanted to change it to. Like I quite like Knox's hair as it is when EA create him, but I just wanted to like, I don't know, I just wanted something a little bit different. And then like when it came to finding the hair, I knew that I'd found the hair. So I remembered about like the mullet from Werewolves, and once I found that, I was like, that's Knox's hair, that should have always been Knox's hair. So I did give him that hair, so he now has a little mullet with a little braid in. And I did change up his beard. I gave him a little bit more of a beard, because he just has sort of like stubbly beard. I did change his beard colour as well to match his hair a bit better, because I thought that his beard was slightly too dark. On his body I did add a few tattoos, mostly like naturey themed ones. So there's one that's like sort of a Japanese style, like I think they're waves, or I can't remember, or clouds, I can't remember what it is, but it goes around the arm. And Like, I also added body hair to him. I didn't make him too hairy, but he's hairy enough. He's a guy after all, and most guys are a little bit hairy. With Knox, I also did keep his hats on many of his outfits. I didn't keep his specific hat that he comes with EA. I would change the hat depending on the outfit, but I feel like he's one of those people that like nearly always has a hat. Makeup wise, I did give him the highlight, and the only other thing that I did was I gave him lashes, but I only gave him top lashes because the full lashes were too much. But I did line his eyes, so he also has eyeliner on, so it kind of gives the impression that he has bottom eyelashes as well. So yeah, that's sort of like my introduction into Knox and like the way that I was picturing him when I was putting together his outfits. So for his sort of like sort of rundown aesthetic, I found like Island Living was quite helpful. There's a few things that look a bit like those shorts that I have on him now. They're kind of like ripped up, or they're kind of like castaway clothes, if you like. But the other good packs for things like that are like werewolves, and Eco Life has a lot of like patch stuff. But yeah, they're the kinds of things that I was using mostly. I really love this outfit that I end up, like his second everyday outfit, like the one for when it's a little bit warmer. I just think it looks like so Knox, and it's like that kind of like scruffiness that I wanted to get for him. One of the one of the things that I wanted him to have was like this sort of scruffy element, so he always looks a bit like unkempt. He doesn't look necessarily always like he's been put together properly. So that's what I was thinking, like when I was picking some of the pieces that he wears. So obviously that kind of aesthetic made picking formal outfits for Knox quite a challenge. I wanted him to still have the same sort of like sort of rough look, if that makes sense, the like not like clean smart look, but I did want him to look a little bit smarter. So that's why like the first outfit I went for was one of the like country living jumpers over a shirt. I thought again that could be something that Mary's knitted him, Blossom's knitted him. So he has a shirt that he puts on, and then his like nice jumper that his mom knitted for him, and just some like trousers. They're not the neatest trousers, but they're trousers that would like be passable for like a Knox outfit. And then his second outfit, I went for this like shirt from Business and Hobbies. I like the retro feel of it. The thing that I like is I feel like he found it in a thrift shop, and it's kind of that like a little bit throwback, but then there's like a little bit that isn't like quite as nice as it could be, because it's like a little bit meshy, so you can see more skin than you really should be able to see in a formal outfit. Like that's like, I just like the little bits that like aren't quite appropriate, and that's the thing that I loved about dressing Knox, was that like I could really just have fun like messing around with the kinds of clothes that he wears. So with his athletic outfits, they do seem a little bit newer than some of his other ones. For example, I used the Coach shirt with the little dinosaur on. The thing that I liked about that is kind of like the colour of the shirt, kind of, it makes it look a little bit washed out, like it's been through the wash quite a few times. So that was sort of like, when I couldn't get like something that I wanted like ripped or patched or something similar, I would go for something that maybe looked washed out and that looked like it had been like worn for years and years and years, rather than like something brand new. Unfortunately, the kind of like shorts that you use to work out in are really difficult to find, like ones that look a bit older, so I just went with it. I just picked ones that sort of went with the outfit, rather than ones that were like specifically sort of ripped or torn or worn out. But his second outfit, I don't know, something just like sparked in me, but I put him in the like jogging outfit that came with the elders kit that we got a little while ago. I don't know, it just felt right. I don't even know like why it feels so right. It just did. When I put it on him, I just wanted to keep that on him, and I did carry on having a little bit of a look, but no, the jogging, like old person jogging suit really like got it for me. So that like sometimes with especially with someone who dresses a little bit differently like Knox, or has like a certain aesthetic, sometimes it's just a vibe. I get just a vibe, and I'm like, you know what, I need that, and I can't necessarily say what it is that made me pick that specific piece of clothing, or why I knew I wanted that specific piece of clothing, because all I can think is it's just it's just a vibe. So but yeah, I kind of like his second one. It just was really funny to me. His sleepwear outfits I kept really simple. I didn't want them to look like too put together, so I didn't want like a set of pyjamas. I just wanted him to look like he had some old t-shirts, or an old one of them's like a sweatshirt kind of thing. Just some like older stuff that he just chucks on for bed. And he uses like either his underwear or just like an old pair of jogging bottoms as his bottoms. Like I didn't want like a nice neat set of pajamas, because that's not Knox. He would think that would be a waste of money, buying a set of clothes to sleep in, when he could just use the clothes that maybe he doesn't like to wear out, or that maybe aren't good enough to wear out. So yeah, that's kind of like his sleepwear vibe that I went for. Also, like, Knox's bedroom in their house is at the top of the crane. So I did actually want to make sure he did have pajamas. Otherwise, I think I would have put him in just his underwear, because I wanted him to, if he needed to go into like the house or whatever, that he had actual clothes that he was wearing. He wasn't just like in his pants, like going into the house to use the bathroom or whatever. So that's why I did actually make a point of making him wear pajamas. So for his party wear, I tried to go for like a similar vibe as the formal wear, but I wanted it to be a little bit less like full on and a bit more relaxed. So we did do the first outfit, we did this like shirt over a roll neck, I couldn't remember what they're called, and I did put the same trousers on his bottoms for this one as I used for one of his formal outfits. We did let him keep a hat on for these, just because I thought that was really like a Knox feature, and he would wear a hat whenever he could, really. At formal events he might not be able to get away with that, but at someone's party he probably would be able to get away with that. And then his second one was a little bit more casual, because I went for like the shirt with like the t-shirt with like a denim shirt over it, worn a bit like open like a jacket, and some shorts, and I just wanted that sort of like more casual party. Like I could see him showing up to a house party for definite in that one. Maybe like the jumper one was the previous one, the first one, was a bit more like sort of like a specific party, so maybe someone's birthday party he'd show up to in that other one. But yeah, I didn't spend a lot on his swimwear. Like I just wanted to change it from what he had on, to put him in some actual swim shorts. But I can see Knox actually swimming a fair bit, so I did want him to have some proper swimwear. And then like his hot weather outfits, I struggled a little bit trying to find exactly what I wanted. I did debate some like dungarees, and like I couldn't quite figure out what it was I wanted to see. like Knox wearing. But then like I found the Enchanted by Nature dungarees that they don't have a top on for men. For women they have like a small like boob tube kind of top, but for the men they don't have anything. So that kind of sparked my original thought of this is what he would wear when he was at home. Like he would wear those, just put on those dungarees, he'd go and potter about in the garden, help his mums do whatever they needed to do, as long as he was nice and cool, and it didn't really matter because he's at home, like if he hasn't got a shirt on. And I just put him in some like flip-flop kind of sandals, but like leather ones, not like plasticky ones, because I thought that he would buy them so that they were built to last, rather than something that like breaks after a few uses like those really cheap flip-flops do. His second hot weather outfit, I did obviously want to make sure he had proper clothes, because that would be for like his outdoor hot wear outfit. So that would be for when he's like going out somewhere, like going around the town but it's still warm, and so that was that was important that he did actually have some clothes on. But his second hot weather outfit, the one that he would be wearing about, I did end up going for this like tank top. I believe that's from For Rent, and I like the colour of it, and it kind of looks a little bit like overwashed, a little bit like the colours are fading. And then of course he has a pair of like denim cutoffs, because Knox is the king of the denim cutoff. He has never seen a pair of jeans that he doesn't want to chop up into a pair of denim shorts. And he has the little like hiking sandals that come with Outdoor Retreat, I believe. I did kind of like mostly keep Knox's colour scheme to sort of neutral colours, so greens and browns, a little bit of black. I just wanted him to sort of like not be too like adventurous with his colour choices, and I wanted him to like, he'd probably pick clothes that were kind of like hardy, sort of like maybe a little bit like military style, but not like, I don't think Knox believes in the military, so he definitely wouldn't actually pick military clothing. But I wanted him to have that kind of like outdoorsy, like quite hardy clothes that like last and last and last, because yeah, he wants to make the most of the clothes that he has. So for Knox's like final outfits, the cold weather outfits, the outdoorsy one, I decided to give him this little green jacket. I liked that it kind of looks a little bit faded, like it's seen just a few too many winters, that it could possibly do with being chucked out. And I got him those like brownie like trousers, just like I wanted him to have something that was like decent on his lower half. He does like snowboarding, so I wanted him to like sort of be a tiny bit prepared for that kind of thing. And yeah, I did end up putting the what was I going to say? One of the scarves on him on that outfit, just because like I felt like he needed something around his neck, and the like, I think it's actually not the scarf, it's the like bandana-y kind of one, but in one of the plain prints. I just felt like he needed something to keep him a little bit warm, and yeah, keep his neck nice and warm. He's got his little knitted hat on, and then for his second cold weather outfit, the one that he would wear like around the house and indoors, I did give him this nice knitted jumper that Blossom kindly knitted him. It's from one of the new kits. I actually really like this pattern, and it has like all the colours, like the earthy colours that I like to see Knox in. So yeah, that's kind of why I went for that. And again, I just picked some like jeans that look like pretty warm, or some trousers that look quite warm. And yeah, that's like our little Knox done, and oh, I just love him. Look at him, he is so cute. he's just one of my favourites. I can't wait to play with like a save bar that has these guys all ready to go and dressed up. But I will just say they are on my gallery now. So if you do want my version of the Greenburgs, my gallery is ThatSimminWitch. I always put like a little link in my bio. I hope it still works. It can be a bit iffy. But also I do try and write underneath like what my names are on different like social medias and stuff, just to make it easier to find me. Yeah, and if you do like these like outfits and like my makeovers, it'd be really cool if you could like the video and maybe subscribe if you want to see more of the makeovers. So now we're going to talk about Blossom. I do apologise in advance just in case I call her Mary. I get them confused, all because of Mary's pink eyebrows. Her pink eyebrows make me think of Cherry Blossom, which then makes me think her name is Blossom and Blossom's name is Mary. And yeah, I end up getting myself confused so much with that. But anyway, in the description of the household, it says that Blossom is the artist of the family. So she has a whole arty vibe going on. She's also the one that is Knox's mum when you load into like EA's version of them. But like I said before, I have fixed it so now that Blossom and Mary are both Knox's mums, which was something that was important for me to get right. So her style, basically, because of her being artistic, I wanted her clothes to look artistic. So she has a lot of bright colours and patterns and stuff that kind of like is a bit more like out there than Knox and Mary would wear. But also because of Knox and Mary's influence of her, of like her being around them all the time and their like dedication to the environment and looking after the planet and recycling, etc, etc. I wanted Blossom's outfits to also have like either an aesthetic of them either being like thrifted or maybe customized in some way. I didn't want them to just be like brand new spanking clothes. I wanted them to sort of like tell a little bit of like her influence from her family as well as her own like personality. So like I wanted her to blend in with the family, but I also wanted her to stand out. So her first outfit, I did this like tie-dye t-shirt or shirt from it's from Parenthood, I believe, and the reason I liked it was because of the tie-dye. I thought that maybe it was either an old top that she had or maybe one that she found but she didn't quite like it as it was, and so in my mind they decided to tie-dye. Like she decided to tie-dye her t-shirt. So they're the kinds of things that I was thinking of. Again, like she's got the jeans with the embroidery, like with the flowers on. Like maybe she added the embroidery herself because she wanted something more to her jeans. She didn't just want plain jeans. She wanted some jeans that had a little bit of pizzazz and like artist flair in them. But as you can see, I did go and I added a couple of tattoos. I just added a few like line work floral kind of tattoos. I didn't want her to have loads of them. I just wanted like maybe one or two. And I wanted them to be floral because I wanted them to be a little bit more feminine. I do think that like Blossom's like sort of vibe is a bit more feminine, whereas Mary, when we get to her, you'll see she's sort of like more masculine. And like more practical rather than like artistic and like I don't know sort of out there, if that makes sense. So yes, hair wise I did try out a ton of different hairs on her, only to go back to the one that she originally had. So I really like this hair on Blossom, and I know it's the same hair that Bess has in Evergreen Harbour, but when we get to Bess I am going to change Bess's hair, so I think Blossom gets to keep her her hair. I also kept the jewelry that she's wearing, because most of the jewelry that she wears is jewelry that's like unlocked jewelry, so I didn't want to like remove that. I wanted to make sure she kept those pieces on, and sometimes they helped inform the rest of her outfit, which I quite liked, for a change, like thinking the opposite way around rather than the outfit informing the accessories, having the accessories inform the outfit. So that's kind of like my little vibe that I went for. With her second outfit, she has this like cute top on from, I think it's from the Paranormal pack or the Spooky pack, but I really like the pattern and like the flowiness, like the ruffles on the arms, and then I paired it with this red skirt, and I just think it's like really nice. Like I kind of see this as an outfit that she would wear sort of like out and about rather than like around the house. It's one that she would like, it's a little bit nicer than her normal everyday like bumming around the house, painting or whatever art she's doing. She decides to wear this when she's off like going shopping or going to have coffee or whatever it is that she likes to do every day. But yeah, they're the kinds of things that I was thinking. Like I wanted her to have bright standout colours, but I also wanted her to look sort of like thrifted and sort of like somewhat put together, rather than like she went out and specifically bought a specific outfit. So for her formal outfits, obviously I had in mind that like her aesthetic that I have spoken about already. I also was kind of thinking about her, because she's obviously an elder, I wanted to make sure that that was appropriate, but she's a cool elder. She's not just like some old lady fogey person who like doesn't like do anything fun, just sits at home and does a crossword all day. She's like a fun, funky, like cool old lady. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that like the like all the sort of like bases were hit with those like different areas. So I ended up going for this dress for one of the outfits. It's from Business and Hobbies, and I just like, it's quite long, but like it had the pattern as well, which brought in the like artistic side. It's in the green, so it's more neutral or a more earthy colour than some of her other clothes, and I just thought that like it just like looked really really nice on her, and I can just see her going to like a wedding or whatever like event that she has to go to. Maybe she has a gallery opening or something that she has to go to. I just think that like it really did look nice on her. And then for her second formal outfit, I ended up doing a dress again, but it's the really long one with all the like flowers on it. I can't remember if it's from a pack or if it's base game, but I ended up picking the green swatch again because I liked sort of like how natural it felt, and plus also because of like the flowers and stuff, it already had a little bit of like creative element. I feel like maybe that was maybe her wedding dress at one point, and that she like when she married Mary, she wanted to be able to wear her wedding dress again. So maybe she dyed it the green and like added all the embroidery and now she gets to wear it to events, and it just like it feels special, but at the same time it feels good that she's been able to rewear something that like usually most people only wear once. But yeah, I just thought that it looked really cute. I didn't really change that much about her for that outfit. I just I just really liked how it looked on Blossom. So for her athletic wear, I didn't want to spend tons of time. She's not really an athletic sim, so I just wanted to change it from what she had on, because I wasn't a fan of what EA had put her in. So I just wanted basically to to give her something a little bit different, I ended up going for the first one, this like layered t-shirt dress from high school years, and I paired that with some leggings from the accessories category. I chose the tie-dye swatch because I thought that maybe it was plain and she tried tie-dyeing it, or like maybe she just wanted to experiment. Maybe it was like a top that she was thinking of getting rid of, and she thought, well, you know what, I might as well test out my tie-dyeing, like learn it and like practice it, so that she ends up with a nice finished product and she knows how to tie-dye. Her second athletic outfit was just like a little dress from Adventure Weights. It kind of looks a bit sporty, so I thought that like I would go for that, just because like it just seemed to make sense, to me anyway, that she had that kind of outfit. Like I said, she doesn't really work out that much, so like maybe she just likes wearing it as like another outfit, and that's why I went for the dress, because like it could just be something that she wears when she's trying to relax around the house. So her sleepwear, again, is pretty simple. I don't spend a lot of time on it. It's just, one of them is just like a shirt with some cycling shorts underneath it, and the second one is a jumper and a top. A jumper and some jogging bottoms, sorry. I just wanted like really simple stuff. I like the idea that maybe she knitted the jumper herself, that she wanted something nice and snuggly and warm for her to wear like in bed. But yeah, that was really my thoughts. I didn't want to spend a lot of time on sleepwear. So when it came to doing like her party outfits, I wanted those to be a little bit more blossom and less like recycled, if you like, than some of her other looks. I wanted them to feel like her, because I feel like she likes a good party. So a part of her like enjoying the party is also just being like really happy with what she's wearing. So for the first one, I took a little bit of inspiration from that second everyday outfit where she had the little shirt and the long skirt. I did a similar thing. I got a shirt, I think it's from the Prairie kit that we got recently. It's quite short, but it's got like a little pattern on it. And then for her bottoms, I just picked a long skirt. I just liked those together. I thought like it was a little bit more jazzed up than like the original version in her second outfit, her second everyday outfit, but it also still kind of had that similar like vibe. It's got like the boho-ness going on as well, and I just really like how it looked on her, and I think that she would feel really good wearing it. Like, she's showing off that little bit of tummy, and like, yeah, she just, I think, looks really, really cute in that outfit. Then her second party wear was a jumper from Lovestruck. It's like Lovestruck, sorry. It's the one that kind of like looks like it's crossed over. And then with that, I paired that with a skirt, but like a shorter skirt. And because the top was plain, this time I went for a patterned skirt. So she's got like a nice like sort of check skirt, but that outfit is a little bit more neutral as well. It has a really bright top, but then the bottoms are like the skirt's quite neutral colours, quite earthy. So it kind of like fuses what she loves most, like her family and her creativity, and like her like outside the box thinking. And like, to be fair, like, that when I paired them together I wasn't sure about it, but like the more that I've seen that outfit together, I like it. I think it like is really like blossom, sorry. Like, I don't think that like it would really suit any other sim, but I think she looks really cute in it, and yeah, I did struggle a bit with the shoes for that one. Like I did start out with boots that went quite high up the leg, but that I thought was a little bit too much. It didn't look quite right, so I had to mess around with the shoes a little bit more to try and find some that really like felt right for the outfit. But yeah, I think she looks absolutely gorgeous. And I think like it's really nice, sort of like it's nice and warm and like welcoming, and yeah, I just kind of love it. So for her swimwear, I just wanted something that looked a bit more retro, so I went for one of the longer line bikini tops and the little like swim skirt that we have. That was like, it only took like a few seconds to make. I really didn't want to spend much time at all. I just want to say sorry if I sound really unfocused. I'm struggling with brain fog today, so I'm really sorry if I don't make sense or if I waffle a bit on topics that I don't mean to, but I'm really trying, and I really want to get this out for Monday, and the only way I can do it is by finishing off the narration now. So I'm really sorry, but we'll move on to her warm weather outfits. So her first one, I decided on this like dress with the little like denim like waistcoaty kind of thing. I did put some shorts underneath it because I thought they were like the dress at the front goes up a little bit high, and I thought she'd like the security of having some shorts under there so that if it did blow up, she wouldn't be showing her pants to everyone. I really like the hat that I put on her as well. I think it's a for rent hat, but I liked how it matched like the yellow of her dress. It's just almost the same color, it's just a little bit lighter, but yeah, I really like the outfit. And then I put like the little the elephant necklace on, which I think just sort of like finishes off the look. I think she looks really cute in that outfit. And obviously that one would be for her like going out and about because it has the hat and the sunglasses. Her second outfit, I did one of the for rent outfits because I think like Blossom likes her comfort, and she'll take it wherever she can get it. And like the for rent outfits, so many of them look like really comfortable, like easy to wear around the house kind of outfits. Plus also it's got the pattern, so it has that little bit of like merriness in it. Blossom, oh my god, I keep doing it loads at the moment. That bit of like Blossom personality added onto the outfit. But yeah, I think she looks absolutely cute. So moving on to her like final outfits, the cold weather ones. I decided with those that like Mary really feels the cold. Blossom, really feels the cold. So I wanted to make sure she was nice and well wrapped up. So I ended up with this for her outdoors one. This like really fleecy jacket from Horse Ranch. I think like she would really appreciate the warmth. She's less worried about what it looks like. I'm more worried about staying warm. And then I just popped it with some jeans, and some boots and like a little hat. I did look at the scarves, but I didn't really like any of the scarves with it, which is a shame because I think a scarf would have finished off the outfit nicely. And then for her indoor one, I did this layered t-shirt and shirt, or roll neck and shirt, for her top, and I reused the embroidered jeans for her bottoms. I just think that like she looks nice and snuggly and warm, and like the colours and like the embroidery and stuff just add that little like artistic flair. But yeah, I think she looks really cute. Like all her outfits are like just right for Blossom. So we're going to talk about Mary. Mary, like I said before, I think that she is the slightly more masculine more concerned about practicality rather than sort of like looking good. So she doesn't really care that much about what she wears. She just wants to be comfortable. She wants it to be practical for all her pottering about that she does around the house and in the garden. So that's like Mary's main concern. There is like something that I've added to her lore is that she wears a necklace like with a little moon on, and I decided that she would wear that on all her outfits, and that's because in my lore for her that Knox gave it to her when he first was adopted by them. He made it for her, and now like it's her most prized possession. And although she's not really someone who is very like sort of I don't know, overly affectionate, if you like, she's showing how much she loves Knox by keeping that necklace forever and wearing it like 24/7, just because she wants Knox to know that she really appreciates him, that she loves the gift, and that she wants him close. So that's like a little like mother-son thing that like Mary and Knox share. So with Mary, she does have a lot of like greens and browns. Again, she's very earthy toned like Knox is. I think like Knox and Mary's like styles are kind of a little bit similar in that respect, because Mary doesn't really care what she looks like, and she's more interested in the practical elements rather than the aesthetic elements. So yeah, that's like I can see her wanting something like Knox where it's like a bit more hard wearing, something that is practical for like weather and stuff like that. She also likes wearing hats because she's always outside in the garden. I do have her on most of her outfits that would be like everyday kind of outfits. So the everyday outfits, the hot weather and cold weather outfits, she does have hats on those, just because, like I said, she potters around in the garden. She likes to keep the sun off her head. If it's cold, she wants something on her head to keep it warm. That was my thinking with Mary. So for her very first outfit, I gave her these like dungarees and a shirt that's kind of like, the dungarees are made of like jogging bottoms material, I guess. That's what it looks like anyway. But yeah, I wanted her to be comfortable, and I wanted her to be sort of like pretty practical for digging around in the garden and doing all the outdoorsy things that she does. I didn't keep her slippers on like she has. Instead, I gave her Crocs. She is the queen of the Crocs. She wears them in most of her like everyday kind of outfits for milling around. I just think that she ultimately wants something really comfortable, but slippers aren't very practical when you're a gardener because you're going to get muddy and stuff. So I thought Crocs were a bit more practical, like because they can be washed and like stuff like that. So that was my thinking with Mary. Her hair, I did actually shorten it. She does have it long and like pulled back usually, but I gave her a shorter hairstyle. I just thought that like it suited her face better, and also like I think that she just, even the pulling back of the hair into a ponytail is just too much effort for Mary. So I think that like she decides that she just wants shorter hair, just to like keep it like easy and like so she doesn't have to do anything for it. Again, like I said before, there's her little moon necklace, the one that I'm saying that Knox made for her. I did put it onto every outfit. Makeup wise, she does have the highlighter on, and I didn't give her eyelashes. I just lined her bottom eye lid, so it looks like Sorry. So it looks like she has bottom eyelashes, and I gave her a lipstick on her like everyday outfits, but not like, it's not like really coloured. It's more just because I wanted her to look like she had shinier lips, so that she was wearing like lipsil or something like that. But yeah, that's the kind of like vibe that I was going with Mary. Like, it doesn't matter what she looks like, it's that she can move and do everything that she needs to do in the outfits. And for her second everyday outfit, I gave her one of the like denim jumpsuits from Horse Ranch. I just think like, because that would be for when the days are a little bit cooler, she would want a little bit of extra layers just to keep her nice and toasty. Denim is obviously quite hardy as well, so it would stand up to her being able to like wear it every day to like do her gardening, and it getting dirty and her washing it and stuff like that. So that was like my thinking for her second everyday outfit. I also, like, when I was picking her outfits, I didn't want them to be too old lady-ish, more because like I don't know, I feel like she's got like a little bit cool where she has like her pink eyebrows. I do think of Mary as being like a little bit cool, even though she kind of denies it with the clothes that she wears. There is a part of her that is like a little bit concerned about what she looks like, and a little bit like cool, and that like people actually think that she's super awesome. So I found it really difficult for her formal outfits. Again, like I said, because she's not really into like anything too ostentatious, that she's quite plain, that she likes practical over like aesthetics, that like it was a little bit of a nightmare. I tried like quite a few different tops before I finally settled on her first one, which is like one of the like little waistcoats from, I'm pretty sure it's Business and Hobbies. I think I've used it on one of my other makeovers, but I picked like the green colour. I just thought that like it fit her nicely, and it was plain, plus also it has that little like cool element. She looks like quite chic in it, despite it being very simple and plain. And I paired it with the trousers from City Living, because I really love those trousers, and like I like the little bit of crop that it gives her. Again, it is like quite chic, and even though it's plain, yeah, it like is quite cool. She looks like a groovy grandma, and but it's also very practical and very easy for her to wear. I just also put her in like little loafers, just because I don't like I didn't want to put her in Crocs for a formal outfit. She would never dream of wearing Crocs for her formal outfit, but yeah, I wanted her to have a little bit of something. She's not really that much into makeup, but for her formal outfits, and I think her party wear outfits, I did give her some lipstick and a tiny bit of eyeshadow, just to like jazz up her face a little bit, just so it didn't look like too washed out or too plain. I just wanted something that sort of, yeah, that sort of brightened up her face a little bit. Then her second formal outfit, I think that took me almost as long as the first one, because I just couldn't decide like what to put her in. But yeah, in the end I ended up going with the like a shirt and some trousers again, just like not anything too complicated. I didn't want her to wear any skirts. Like, I don't think she's the kind of sim that would wear skirts, and like EA's version, like some of her clothes that she wears, to me that it just didn't make sense. Like, it didn't feel like very cohesive, her style throughout like the different outfit categories with EA's choices. I just thought it was a bit like, one minute she was all practical and gardener lady, and then the next minute she was like glamorous gran. So I thought that I would try and make the styles a little bit more cohesive by giving her like a style rather than by just picking whatever I felt like. So yeah, she ends up with these like nice little check trousers. Again, they're that little bit cropped, so they kind of look a little bit more chic. And I like the top that I gave her is like not a traditional shirt, but it's still smart enough to pass as a formal shirt. And yeah, I just put some stockings on underneath her trousers just to keep her ankles warm because I'm very concerned about the warmth of Sim's ankles when they are a little bit cold. With her athletic wear, I wanted simple and easy again. I didn't want to spend too much time. But the first one I gave was one of the full body outfits. It's one of the ones that we got in an SDX drop. I just liked it because it was sort of like quite warm. It was probably easy for her to buy because it was probably like right next to each other in the store since it's a set. And like, yeah, I thought that would be best for one of her outfits. And then the other one, for when it's not quite as cold, I gave her a t-shirt. It's one of the ones from, I think it's from Home Chef Hustle, and it's got like 2 carrots on it. The reason that I gave her that, I felt like it was a promotional t-shirt that she might have got somewhere for free, and instead of like she doesn't really care for advertising, but since it was free, she thought she would wear it to like work out in, so it doesn't matter if it gets all sweaty and gross and like it's not like looked after that well because it was free. And yeah, she doesn't really care about advertising, so I just paired that with some little shorts. And I tried to, with her outfits, not to change her shoes that much. If she had one pair of shoes on for the first outfit, I tried to use the same pair for the second outfit and reuse the shoes as much as possible in other outfits. I just feel like she wouldn't buy shoes that much, so like it's important to sort of keep that like in mind. So both her athletic outfits had the same trainers. She wears Crocs a lot. She had the loafers on both of her formal outfits. I think for her party outfits, I put her in those loafers as well. So that's the kind of like thinking that I had going on for her footwear overall. With her sleepwear, I don't think she'd really be that bothered, so I literally just picked out some kind of things that like looked like she would wear them to go to bed in. The only thing that I think she'd be worried about was like I put her in some little like the little rubber flip-flops, and I did that because I thought that like she would want them on, because her being like a crazy gardener who can't stop thinking about her garden, she would want to be able to just pop out into the garden and do stuff whenever. So like she couldn't do that in like normal slippers, but if you give like she wore rubber like sliders, they would sort of be fine to go out in the garden. If they got dirty, she could wipe them off and clean them up, so it wouldn't matter too much. But yeah, that I did get quite invested with the kind of like story and like my own like thinking and my own lore for these guys. So yeah. And then like moving on to her party wear, so I wanted something a little bit more fun but not too extravagant. So this little top from Foren, I really liked the stripes. So it's like a nice simple easy top, but It has a little bit of fun because of the stripes in it, and it's not something that she could do to make it more fun. It would just be something that she picked that was like a little bit more fun. Again, it went with the trousers from City Living. Like I said before, they are super chic, so it really makes sense to me that like she would wear them often. I didn't want her just like new clothes all the time. And then for her second party wear outfit, I did this little cardigan top combo, which I think is from Eco Lifestyle, and then I just put it on with some jeans. I just thought that like she'd want something like warm for the cooler days, but something that still was a bit fancier than what she would usually wear around the house. And like then we move on to the swimwear, and the swimwear, like I didn't really spend a lot of time because I knew what I wanted to put her in, and I put her in the like wetsuit, the short wetsuit kind of one that came with eventual weights. I just think that like she would want it, like, again, for practical reasons. Like if she was swimming outdoors, she would want to have the extra like protection of something that was a bit more like a wetsuit rather than the like a normal bathing suit or a bikini. So for her hot weather outfits, I kind of pictured her either pottering around at home or her, like, I don't know, being the muscle and carrying all the stuff for Blossom to the markets and stuff where she sells her art. So I kind of wanted practical again. That's why, like, the first one, I went for like a shirt and jeans. Like the shirt makes it a little bit smarter, but the jeans like make it comfortable. Again, she's in her Crocs and she's got her little hat on. And the second one of her hot weather outfits was a little tie-dye top with a shirt over the top. I feel like the tie-dye shirt that was one of Blossom's creations. Like she decided that the shirt was a little bit too plain, so she tie-dyed it for Mary. And then like the little hot pants to help keep her cool. Yeah, and again she had Crocs on, so they're like very similar to her sort of everyday outfits. I just wanted easy to wear, easy and practical, and yeah, I think she kind of looks pretty cool in them as well, like the way that she's dressed. And her final outfits, the cold weather ones, I went for the indoor one. I gave her this cardigan from Business and Hobbies. Again, like Knox, I think anything knitted she gets from Blossom. So this is very bright and colourful for her, and I feel like that was Blossom's doing. Blossom knitted it and Mary just can't say no to Blossom, so she wears it for her like when it's really cold. I just chucked it with some jeans and some boots, just like to keep it simple and to keep her nice and warm. And then for her final cold weather outfit, I did do a full body outfit. It's actually, I think, a seasons one, where it's like a top and like a jacket and with like over a jumper and some trousers. But I chose it because one of her hobbies is skiing. So I wanted her to have some really nice warm clothes to make sure that she stayed nice and warm while she was out and doing her skiing. But yeah, that was like my main consideration. Hat wise, on her outdoor one, I put the one with goggles on. I think I did anyway, the woolly hat that's got the goggles on. Because like I was thinking about like if she was skiing that she would need some like ski goggles so she doesn't get like the snow blindness. And yeah, I just think that she looks really cute. I gave her a little scarf too because it kind of didn't sit okay without it like glitching too much. But yeah, that's Mary. So I'm gonna say dag dag now, and I'll leave you with the the rest of her fashion show. So dag, and I hope you all have an awesome day.